In 2030 Los Angeles, Sean has just won the lottery, but his luck quickly turns as a furious crowd chases him down, intent on killing him. Sean fights them off swiftly and escapes by leaping over a fence. He then breaks into a house through a window, where he encounters a grandmother. Without hesitation, he destroys her phone, knowing that a drone outside is tracking his every move. As he catches his breath, the grandmother pulls out a grand lottery bolt gun and kills him on the spot. She then breaks her lottery ticket, summoning the lottery team, who confirm Sean's death and reward her with a $22 million check, which she later flaunts on TV. A month later, Katie arrives in LA to revive her acting career. On the bus, she clutches a small Oscar keychain as a keepsake and tries to cheer up a little girl nearby, whose father is mocking her over the phone. Katie pretends to be a cop, scaring the man into behaving better. An old lady thanks her, but Katie later realizes the woman stole her watch. Katie sees an ad for Lewis Protection Agency and wishes she had bodyguards like that. As she continues her journey, she notices the tense and violent atmosphere on the streets. Meanwhile, the media is obsessed with the upcoming lottery draw, with a record-breaking $3.6 billion jackpot. At home, Noel prepares his weapons while singing the Ninja Turtles theme. Katie finally reaches the room she rented online, only to find it in terrible condition, with an annoying roommate, Shadi, who lied about the state of the place. Shadi's boyfriend, DJ, plays a cruel prank by slapping Katie when handing her the house keys. The next day, Noel's bodyguard Ed appears on TV, offering his services to the next lottery winner. Katie wakes up to find the upstairs bathroom leaking, ruining her clothes. She complains to Shadi, who offers to rent her some clothes, forcing Katie to spend her savings on a terrible outfit and a cab ride because she's late for an audition. The cab driver makes inappropriate comments and gossips about celebrities, mentioning that rapper Machine Gun Kelly has his own bunker. At the audition, Katie is charged $400 to participate. She explains her acting background and how she paused her career to care for her sick mother, who has since passed away. During the audition, she accidentally activates Shadi's lottery ticket by putting her thumbprint on it, officially registering her as a player. Her picture is taken, and she tries to continue acting but is quickly disliked and thrown out. In the corridor, the other actresses try to comfort her, but when their lottery tickets activate and announce that Katie has won, they turn hostile and attack her with anything they can find, some even wielding knives. Workers join the fight, and Katie defends herself using her stage fighting skills. She dodges attacks and escapes to another floor, where she hides in a room, only to stumble into a self-defense class. These people, too, are ready to kill her, calling her, "my jackpot," as they attack. Katie dodges their moves and causes them to hit each other, but they ignore her pleas for an explanation. Amidst the chaos, Katie is thrown through a wall into a yoga class, where more people are ready to kill her. The self-defense fighters follow, turning the room into a violent brawl with bloodshed. Just as a man grabs Katie by the neck, Noel crashes through the ceiling and saves her by hurling the man into the wall. Noel then announces that Katie gets 5 free saves, but after that, his protection will cost her 10% of the lottery prize. As he fights off attackers, counting each one he takes down, Katie realizes she has no choice but to sign his contract once the freebies are used up. With the deal in place, Noel starts fighting in earnest, even using Katie as a weapon to knock opponents down. He ties her to his back for safety and wields a belt like a whip to keep attackers at bay. After they've taken down all their opponents, Katie frees herself and grabs Noel's paralysis dart gun, but he quickly retrieves it. Noel then makes sure to position the unconscious bodies so they won't choke on their tongues. He explains that the lottery drone outside posts the winner's location every 14 minutes, so they need to move fast. As they dash out of the building, Noel points out that the rules prohibit other players from killing each other. When someone at a food truck throws a knife at Katie, Noel helps her dodge it before they jump into his car to escape. As they drive through the city, people nearby receive alerts of Katie's location and start preparing to join the hunt. An ice cream truck driver abandons the kids, and even the lady from the bus is now armed with a grand lottery bolt gun. In the car, Noel continues explaining how the lottery works, surprised that Katie didn't know. Katie reveals that she and her mom only watched movies and baking shows, avoiding the news because it was too depressing. Soon, they're being chased by people on bikes and ATVs. Noel hands Katie a helmet before speeding up. A Molotov cocktail lands on the car, setting the roof on fire, but Noel keeps driving, entering an old warehouse where the wind extinguishes the flames. Suddenly, he spins the car around, causing a biker to crash into it, but they must keep moving as more bikers set fires in their path. Katie expresses her desire to quit the game, but Noel explains that the only way to do so is to leave the city. He takes out an enemy with a dart and drives in circles, creating a cloud of dust that allows them to escape undetected by silently pushing the car out. The bikers only realize they've been fooled when another Molotov hits the ground. Katie keeps insisting that she wants to quit, so Noel agrees to take her to the nearest quit line. Just then, the bikers catch up, and the chase resumes. An enemy jumps into the car through the back window, and Katie manages to steal her knife while Noel pulls out his darts. The woman bites Noel's arm, but he grabs the mirror and hits her with it before asking Katie to take the wheel, ignoring her protests that she can't drive. Noel moves to the back seat to continue the fight, puts an extra helmet on the opponent, and kicks her out of the car. As the bikers throw another Molotov at them, Noel forces Katie to drive through a wall to escape. They stop a car, causing a biker to crash while trying to avoid it, and Katie knocks out another with her helmet. The duo tries to leave, but the car barely moves before breaking down due to all the damage. Katie gets out and tries to run away, but Noel stops her. He explains that he won't make any money if she quits, but he still wants to help her because he believes in treating people the way you want to be treated. Suddenly, Katie throws sand in his face and manages to punch him, forcing Noel to reset his dislocated nose. At that moment, a police car arrives, and Katie rushes to the officers for help, only to realize they also want to kill her. Noel catches their taser just in time and starts fighting the officers while Katie runs off. On the street, she hides her face behind a map as the crowd notices the nearby drone and begins searching for her. She ducks into a wax museum, where a guard who is anti-lottery allows her to hide among the statues. Katie then calls Shadi to borrow her car, but Shadi keeps pressing her for her location, making Katie realize Shadi is also playing the lottery. At that moment, a statue's voice gives away Katie's location, and Shadi and DJ try to enter the museum. The guard reminds them they're banned for inappropriate behavior with the statue, but Shadi knocks him out and the couple rushes inside. Katie hides behind a statue but is soon spotted when she tries to sneak out. DJ shoves her onto a desk, and Katie retaliates by hitting Shadi with a bottle and throwing sand in DJ's face. The couple teams up against Katie, who defends herself with the statue's staff. When she tries to escape, Shadi kicks her, causing her to drop the staff. In the next room, Shadi and DJ begin beating Katie with the broken staff pieces. Katie fights back by hurling statues at them, mistaking them for Cher when they're actually the Kardashians. The fight spills into the horror room, where they grab any available props to attack each other. After a struggle involving movie costumes and weapons, Katie manages to escape just as Shadi throws an axe at her. The weapon hits, but it's fake, so it does no harm. Katie lowers the shutter to trap them inside but remembers Noel's advice, so she fixes the guard's position to prevent him from choking. She then rolls out of the museum just before the shutter closes, leaving Shadi and DJ trapped inside. As soon as she's outside, a tour bus guide spots her and announces her location over the microphone. Before attackers can reach her, Noel appears in a police car and rescues her. Katie still doesn't fully trust him, suspecting that he might kill her in private to avoid losing his payout if she quits. Meanwhile, the tour bus rams into the back of their car, and Noel wishes they had a bunker. Katie suddenly remembers the taxi driver's mention of Machine Gun Kelly's bunker, and they head to his house. When they arrive, Kelly misunderstands Katie's request for help, thinking she wants something inappropriate. Just then, the tour bus shows up, so Katie grabs Noel's dart gun and forces Kelly to open his panic room. Katie and Noel rush inside and put Kelly to sleep with a dart before trying to close the door. As a crowd gathers in the living room, an arm tries to keep the door open, prompting Noel to aim his gun. Misunderstanding his intent, Katie takes the gun and shoots a dart at the arm, forcing it to retreat so they can finally close the door. Inside the panic room, fully equipped and safe, the duo watches the crowd on the security cameras. Katie, still wary, keeps the gun aimed at Noel, but he sits beside her and shares some personal, sweet stories to show he's a good guy. When Katie's keychain falls out of her pocket, Noel compliments it, prompting Katie to open up. She explains she became an actress for her mom, who loved movies and celebrities. Her mom, knowing Hollywood could be tough, gave Katie the keychain to remind her that she would always be proud of her, no matter what. Katie shares that she made good money as a child actor, but her father ran off with it all. Noel listens empathetically, and Katie eventually hands him back the gun. Katie then asks why Noel would help her quit when it means he won't get paid. Noel explains that his priorities are saving lives first and making enough money to continue saving lives second. Outside, the crowd continues to pound on the door. Shadi, in frustration, slaps Kelly to wake him up, but when that fails, she drags him into the pool and forces him to reveal the door's password, the meme 6969. Katie and Noel watch this unfold on the cameras, and Noel realizes he has no choice but to make a call for help. He orders something called a phone strike, and quickly places Katie's phone inside a safe. The duo holds the door as Shadi uses the password, but the crowd suddenly freezes when all their phones start ringing with an Amber Alert. However, this is a trap, and the phones begin to explode, injuring various people. Amidst the chaos, Katie and Noel emerge to escape, though Noel takes a moment to put out the flames on someone's groin. Outside, a group of guards is waiting with damage-proof cars and rubber bullet guns. They only intend to take Katie, but she insists on bringing Noel too. During the ride, Katie asks if Noel works with these people. He explains that he used to, but now he's a freelancer. They soon arrive at headquarters, where Katie meets Lewis and learns it's his security company. Katie isn't impressed by Lewis, especially since he keeps mocking Noel, and she immediately asks to be taken out of the city. Lewis gifts Katie a new phone, emphasizing that she's in the safest building in the country. He also shows off the grenades in his pocket. With only 4 game hours left, Lewis gives them a tour, showcasing a wall with the names of all the winners they've supposedly saved, though the names are anonymous, and they've been lacking clients for a while. Lewis explains they charge 30%, and Katie signs the contract after ensuring a portion of that money goes to Noel. Afterward, they see on the security cameras that a crowd is gathering outside, so Lewis decides to move Katie to a hidden underground fortress using decoy vehicles. Before they leave, the duo receives medical care for their wounds, and Noel opens up more about his past. He shares that he used to be a mercenary in the private sector with Lewis, and their unit was sent around the world to kill terrible people. However, Noel eventually discovered that his targets weren't always bad guys, prompting him to quit in the middle of a mission. This caused the mission to fail, leaving only him and Lewis alive. Now, the money Noel earns goes to the families of his victims and teammates. Katie then shares her story, revealing that her dad used to be her manager and forced her to work long hours since she was 8. When she turned 18, she told him she wanted to manage her own money, but he disappeared with it, leaving her to care for her sick mother, who passed away a month ago, leaving her only $600 and a bus ticket to LA. An employee then brings a prosthetics machine, and Katie uses it to apply a mask that makes her look like an old man. However, Noel grows suspicious because moving Katie out doesn't seem logical, and he questions how this facility can be maintained with only 30% of old prize money, especially if they haven't had clients recently. After Katie changes clothes to complete her disguise, Noel realizes that Lewis is only pretending to protect the winners so he can secretly kill them. Lewis takes them to a car, but when Katie insists on bringing Noel along, Lewis refuses. Desperate, Katie kicks Lewis in the groin, allowing Noel to open the garage door and shoot all the guards with his darts as the crowd rushes in. However, They don't recognize Katie and ignore her. Noel drags her out and hands her a keycard he stole from a guard, telling her to run while he buys some time. More guards arrive and hold Noel down as Louis beats him for information. Meanwhile, all the AI-driven decoy cars take off, with Katie hiding in one of them, so Louis sends his people to follow. Downtown, Katie removes her mask and takes control of the car, alerting Louis's system. Social media goes wild as the drone loses track of Katie, and she gains a fanbase that sees her as a hero. Just as she's about to leave town, Katie gets a call from Louis, who threatens to kill Noel if she doesn't turn around. Despite Noel's pleas for her to save herself, Katie turns the car around and agrees to meet. Louis takes Noel to an old theater, revealing that during their mercenary days, he always knew they were killing civilians but didn't care because it was easy money. He admits he killed their team and made it look like Noel's fault because he didn't like sharing. With only 15 minutes left, Katie grabs a bolt gun from the glove compartment and rushes inside the theater, where she finds Louis and Noel on stage. She threatens to kill herself so that no one gets the money, but Louis doesn't believe her. Katie then points out that Louis plans to kill her anyway and reveals she's recording everything for social media, making it impossible for him to cover it up. Katie rants about her miserable life and almost pulls the trigger, but Louis finally drops the handcuff keys and asks for a deal. Katie pretends to hand over the gun but instead kicks Louis off the stage, confirming she had been acting. With Louis out of commission, the other players immediately come after Katie again. All the people she's encountered throughout the day arrive at the theater and block every exit, forcing Katie to use whatever objects she can find to slow them down. Suddenly, Louis grabs her leg, pulling her down and trying to kill her. A cop attempts to intervene, but Louis kicks him away and continues struggling with Katie. Just then, a crowd bursts in, and Noel, still cuffed to a chair, starts fighting them while singing the Ninja Turtles theme song. The chair eventually breaks, giving Noel more freedom to move. Katie bites Louis and disarms him, then throws the keys to Noel, who finally frees himself. As Noel fights Louis, Shadi appears with a katana to challenge Katie. Katie quickly disarms her and knocks her out with a headbutt. With only 4 minutes left, a massive crowd floods into the theater. Noel continues battling Louis while Katie climbs the stage decorations for safety. Louis steals an axe from another player, and Noel defends himself with cymbals, ultimately defeating his former comrade. The bus lady tries to climb after Katie, but Katie kicks her off. Noel begins breaking the stage decorations to prevent anyone from following Katie. Louis's men arrive, and half of them form a human stair for Louis to climb while the others tackle Noel. Louis reaches Katie on the scaffolding, and they engage in a fierce fight until Katie slips. As she dangles from the edge, she reveals she used her keychain to activate one of Louis's grenades, which then explodes, killing Louis. Katie falls, but her fans catch her with a large flag just in time. As the countdown reaches 0, Katie hugs Noel and promises to give him 50% of the winnings. The lottery officials arrive to present her with the check, but Katie announces she no longer wants to be an actress. 6 months later, Katie and Noel are working together on various charitable endeavors, including a free protection agency, a self-defense and stage fighting school, and a center for kids with bad parents. Noel also tries to open a Ninja Turtles-themed pizzeria but gets sued for copyright infringement. The duo ends up going on vacation on their own super yacht.